Everybody say management, because money obeys systems, not wishes. Say it again, management. Write this down. Every paycheck is a test, not a feeling, not a fantasy, a test. When that deposit hits, heaven is watching your management, not your mood. You are about to spend your future. Be careful then how you live. Ephesians 5:15:1-6 says, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Read out loud, redeem the time. If time is redeemed, then the money made from time must be redeemed with it. Why is that important? Because money is converted time. Your employer didn't pay you in dollars. They paid you in pieces of your life you already spent at the office, the site, the store, the screen. So stewardship of money is stewardship of life. Wake up, wake up, wake up. You are not counting cash. You are counting hours you can never get back. Let me level this room. The billionaire and the beggar both have 24 hours every day. The old and the young, the black, the white, the Indian, and the Asian, same clock. Pay cycles test our discipline, not our dreams. Dreams are free. Discipline is expensive. Wishes are loud. Systems are quiet. And listen to me like a father. God never responds to wishes. He responds to wisdom. Redeem the time. That is a system word. To redeem means to buy back, to own again, to repossess what drifted from purpose. Money obeys that. Money runs to order. Money flees confusion. Write this down. Your paycheck is not permission. It is proof. Proof that you already spent time. The question God asks is, what will you buy next? Fools buy more pressure. The wise buy purpose. Fools buy applause. The wise buy assignment. Be very careful, the apostle says. That means establish a pattern. Document a plan. Protect your priorities. Plan your payday, or your payday will be planned by everybody else. Do not try to please everyone. People will pressure you to finance their emergencies while you abandon your destiny. Redeem the time. Every payday presents a fork in the road, impulse or integrity, emotion or order, fantasy or faithfulness. Systems pass the test, wishes fail it. So I command your spirit, redeem the time. Lay your hand on your heart and decide, I will no longer let money wander. I will make it work. I will not let hours evaporate. I will turn them into destiny, because when the deposit clears, the exam begins. And the grade is not in how much you made, it is in how well you managed what your life became. Listen to me carefully. Time turns into money. Write this down. Time is the raw currency. Money is time converted into paper and digits. When you receive money, you are holding yesterday's hours in your hand. That is why I keep telling you, redeem the time. If you redeem the hours, you will redeem the paycheck. If you waste the hours, you will waste the income. God created time first, then allowed man to convert it into outcomes. The businessman said time is money, but heaven has said it first. Teach us to number our days that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. Psalm 90:12. Read out loud, go, number your days. Why? Because numbering days is how you measure value before you ever measure dollars. Genesis 1:14 declares, and God said, let there be lights in the firmament, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days and years. God created time, but he does not live in it. Time is an interruption in eternity, a mercy space for management. Seasons are not just weather, they are windows of responsibility. Your pay cycle is a season, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. Whatever your employer calls it, heaven calls it a season to be managed, not feared. The sun and the moon are heaven's clocks, reminding you that money is simply the shadow cast by how you spent your life. Write this down. If you respect hours, money will respect you. If you abuse hours, money will mock you. Why is this important? Because you are spending life every time you swipe. Not just currency life. When you tap that card, your hours are leaving. Your breath is leaving. Your past Tuesday afternoon is paying for that impulse on Friday night. Wake up, wake up, wake up. You are not purchasing things. You are exchanging time. So be careful then how you live. Redeem the time. Time is a currency. Time must be spent. Time can be invested. Time can be stolen. Time can be squandered. Time can be revalued. The billionaire and the beggar both wake up at 24 hours. The old and the young, the single mother and the CEO, same allotment. The difference is not the clock. It is the conversion. The wise convert hours into purpose. The foolish convert hours into pressure. The wise schedule destiny. The foolish schedule distractions. Document a plan. Establish your priorities. Protect your plans. Do not try to please everyone. People will spend your time faster than thieves spend your cash. So here is the kingdom ethic. Treat money as stored time. This means you steward hours before you steward accounts. Set your calendar before you set your cart. Guard your mornings like a vault. Allocate your evenings like an investment portfolio. If you redeem the minutes that make the man, the money that comes from the man will be redeemed automatically. Number your days, manage your seasons, honor your hours. Then when the deposit arrives, it will find you prepared, principled, and positioned because you already redeemed the paycheck when you redeemed the time. In times like these, hear me, uncertainty demands clarity. You cannot finance confusion. Write this down. Crisis cash flow has 3 rules. Need, withdraw, delay. Say it with me. Need, withdraw, delay. Why? Because when the winds are strong, you don't raise a sail, you secure the mast. Proverbs 27-23 says, be diligent to know the state of your flocks and attend to your herds. Read out loud. Go. Be diligent. Diligence in a storm is not expansion. It is examination. We are not shrinking in fear. We are stewarding with focus. Redeem the time. Rule 1, need. Determine what you must have to sustain purpose, provision, and protection. Need is mission critical, not mood critical. Food, shelter, essential utilities, necessary transportation for work, insurance that defends your household needs. Write this down. If it doesn't move assignment or maintain survival, it's not a need in a crisis. Luke 14:28 says, which of you, intending to build a tower, does not first sit down and count the cost? Counting is kingdom. Guessing is gambling. Count the cost. Itemize the needs. Price them. Protect them first. Be careful then how you live. Redeem the time. Rule 2, withdraw. Cancel what is unnecessary. Prune subscription creep. 10 streams you do not watch. 3 music platforms for 1 pair of ears. Apps that auto-renew while your vision stars. Withdraw. Pause the glossy upgrades that flatter ego but do not feed destiny. You do not need the latest phone when the one in your hand still makes calls, sends emails, and helps you clock in. You do not need the wardrobe refresh to impress people who are not paying your bills. Withdraw means reverse the flow. Pull your money out of distractions and return it to assignment. 1 Corinthians 14:33 declares, God is not the author of confusion. If God didn't author it, don't underwrite it. You cannot finance confusion. Rule 3, delay, defer major projects until stability returns. Put a hold on non-essential renovations, the marble countertop, the new deck, the cosmetic bathroom redo that looks good on a reel but adds stress to your reel. Postpone the car trade-in that raises your note while lowering your peace. The borrower is servant to the lender, Proverbs 22:7. Don't volunteer for servitude in a storm. Ecclesiastes 3 says there is a time to plant and a time to pluck up. In a crisis, pluck up expenses, plant reserves. Delay is not denial. It is wisdom's pause that preserves your future build. Let me father you for a moment. Do not try to please everyone. Protect your priorities from other people's emergencies. Love your family. Serve with discretion. If your shield is thin and your cash flow is fragile, your yes to pressure will be a no to purpose. Joseph taught us in Genesis 41, store in the fat years so you can stand in the lean years. If you fail to store, then your first storehouse now is restraint, need, withdraw, delay until your strength returns. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Crisis is a tutor, not a tyrant if you respond with order. Today, cut to need. Today, cancel the unnecessary. Today, delay the big spend. Redeem the time, because when the days are evil, wise people simplify, and when the calm returns, you will still have your purpose, your peace, and your cash ready to build on schedule. Now that your hands have cut to need and canceled confusion, let me put tools in those hands. Write this down. Kingdom money moves in a kingdom order. 3 accounts, 3 priorities, 1 routine, every payday. Why? Because money obeys systems, not moods. And when your heart is steady, your cash will stop wandering. We are not inventing complexity. We are installing clarity. Redeem the time. Account 1 is the seed. This is your purpose and generosity account. This funds assignment, your giving, your calling, your destiny projects, your learning, your mission, your service. Seed is not random. It is targeted. Seed is not pressure. It is purpose. Account 2 is the storehouse. This is provision. This pays the true needs with precision. Rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, necessary transport, insurance, the bills that keep your household stable and your assignment mobile. Account 3 is the shield. This is protection. This builds reserves, repairs, deductibles, buffers, and future defense. So when life coughs, your finances don't catch pneumonia. Now the priorities that rule these accounts. Priority 1, purpose first. Priority 2, provision with precision. Priority 3, protection with discipline. Read out loud, go purpose, provision, protection. This is the order. This is the guardrail, not the reverse, not when you feel like it. The same order every time you get paid. Why is the order holy? Because order decides outcome. Adam lost order. Joseph restored order. Jesus redeemed order. Bring order back to payday and you will bring peace back to your life. Luke 16, 10 to 12. Read out loud, go. He who is faithful in what is least is faithful also in much. If you have not been faithful with worldly wealth, who will trust you with true riches? Faithfulness lives in the least, not the later. The least is a transfer you could skip but choose to honor. The least is a tiny seed auto move when no one is clapping. The least is a storehouse payment made on time every time. The least is a shield deposit that looks small today but becomes a wall tomorrow. This framework trains faithfulness. Payday becomes practice. Practice becomes protection. Let me give you a picture. I met a young couple, Andre and Keisha, good hearts, empty plan. Every month they fought bills with feelings. I said, rename your accounts, seed, storehouse, shield. Rename your order, purpose, provision, protection. That Friday, before touching anything, they moved a measured seed to purpose and quiet generosity. Then they paid the storehouse with precision, no leaks, no late fees, no pretending. Finally, they funded the shield just a little, but every time. 3 months later, pressure was down, peace was up, and when the car groaned, the shield spoke, no panic, no plastic, just protection. Hear your father? Do not try to please everyone with your seed, submit it to purpose. Do not estimate your storehouse, itemize it with precision. Do not flirt with your shield, fund it with discipline. Document the routine. Automate the first moves. Announce the order to your household. Redeem the time. Every deposit is a test. Answer with the same sequence. Purpose, provision, protection. When you repeat the order, heaven will recognize your stewardship and money will learn your voice. Now take your phone, set a 7-minute timer and write this down. A fixed payday order. Purpose, provision, protection, then wants, turns intention into automatic integrity. Read 1 Corinthians 16:2 out loud, go. On the first day of every week, each one of you should set aside a sum of money in keeping with your income. Set aside in order every time. That's our routine. Minute 1, purpose, the seed. Move a minimum of 10% toward mission immediately. Honor the Lord with your wealth, with the first fruits of all your increase. Proverbs 3-9. First fruits means first, not leftover. Transfer to your seed account, your tithe and strategic giving, your learning budget, books, courses, coaching, your tools for assignments, software, certification, the instrument that multiplies your gift. Do not try to please everyone with this seed. Submit it to purpose. Name the transfer. Label it destiny. Redeem the time. Minutes 2 and 3. Provision, the storehouse. Fund needs only. Needs are mission critical, not mood critical. Housing, food, transport, to work, utilities, insurance, essential debt obligations. Schedule payments, pay the amounts you already counted. Romans 13:8 says, owe no one anything except to love. That means cut the leaks, not the light bill. Do not let want sit in the checkout while your mortgage waits in shame. Be precise, be prompt. Provision with precision protects your witness. Minutes 4 and 5, protection, the shield. Move 10-20% until 3-6 months of expenses are saved. Joseph stored grain for the lean years. Stewards 41. And Proverbs 6 says, go to the ant, it stores its provisions in summer. Save like an ant, think like Joseph. This is deductibles, repairs, job gap buffer, crisis cash. Automate this transfer. Remove willpower from the equation. When the shield is under target, it eats first with purpose and provision. Wants wait. If your car coughs, your shield should answer, not your credit card. Minute 6, wants last. Only after steps 1-3 are satisfied. Cap wants at 0-10% in crisis. If you are below your shield target, cancel wants until the wall is built. All things are lawful for me, but not all things are beneficial. 1 Corinthians 10:23. Beneficial means it benefits destiny. If it flatters ego, but weakens defense, it is not beneficial. Delay it. Delayed desire is not denial, it is dominion. Minute 7, review and record. Quick ledger note, seed move, storehouse paid, shield funded, wants approved or paused, whisper thanks, integrity loves receipts. Automation note, set these transfers to trigger on payday morning. Seed first, storehouse next, shield third, so your values move before your emotions wake up. Machines should serve your purpose. Feelings should never govern your finances. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Do this every payday. Same order, same minutes, same obedience. Purpose, provision, protection, then and only then wants. When you repeat the routine, heaven recognizes faithfulness and money learns your voice. Redeem the time. Now that your order is set, let's sharpen your eyes, because confusion at the checkout is how destiny bleeds. Write this down. Needs are mission critical. Wants must pass the 5-question test or wait. Proverbs 21:5, read out loud, go. The plans of the diligent lead surely to plenty, but those of everyone who is hasty surely to poverty. Diligent plans, not hasty taps. Order at the bank means nothing if impulse lives in your pocket. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Redeem the time. Here is the 5-question kingdom test. Ask these of every expense before your finger says yes. Write this down. Number 1, is it essential to live or to work? If it does not keep a roof, keep the lights, put food on the table, ensure your life, or get you to your assignment, it is not a need. Number 2, does it move me toward purpose, not toward ego? Not toward applause, toward assignment. If the purchase doesn't advance the mission, it must not advance to your card. Number 3, can it wait 30 days? Practice this aloud with me. If it can wait, it must wait. Again, if it can wait, it must wait. Delayed desire is not denial, it is dominion. Number 4, is there a cheaper, faithful option? Faithful means it fulfills the function without violating the framework. Purpose, provision, protection. Choose function over flaunt. Number 5, what happens if I say no? If nothing breaks, no mission stops, no job is lost, no covenant is compromised, then it's a want. And wants wait until the shield is fed and the storehouse is settled. Let me father you. Most poverty is not lack of income. It is lack of interrogation. Interrogate the purchase. Put the expense in the witness box. Make it testify. If it stutters on any of the 5, dismiss the case. Do not try to please everyone. People will hand you urgent wants disguised as needs and call it love. Love is truthful. Let your yes be yes and your no, no. Matthew 5:37. No is a holy word that protects destiny. If the shirt can wait 30 days, it must wait. If the trip can wait 30 days, it must wait. If the upgrade can wait 30 days, it must wait. Redeem the time. Now bring your household into this. Agreement is a gasket that stops leaks. Amos 3:3 asks, can two walk together unless they are agreed? Teach your spouse, your teenagers, your team to use the same test. Tape the 5 questions on the fridge. Make it the lock screen. Before any unplanned spend, the house recites, is it essential to live or to work? Does it move us toward purpose? Can it wait 30 days? Is there a cheaper, faithful option? What happens if we say no? Unity ends budget sabotage. When the family guards the gate, the wolf of impulse starves. For the next 30 days, I challenge you, time box this. Every purchase faces the 5 questions. Speak the creed at every checkout. If it can wait, it must wait. Then watch Proverbs 21:5. Come alive. Diligent plans will lead surely to plenty. Haste will leave your cart full and your future empty. Be careful then how you live. Redeem the time. Write this down. Feelings make promises. Percentages make protection. We are installing guardrails so your heart cannot hijack your harvest. Read out loud, go. Protective percentages. Here is the starting template. Seed for purpose, 10-12%. Storehouse for needs, 50-60%. Shield for savings, 10-20% until fully funded. Debt acceleration, 10-20%. Want 0-10%. Why? Because let all things be done decently and in order. 1 Corinthians 14:40. Percentages are order. Order redeems the time. Let me define the lanes. Seed, 10-12% is the first fruits posture. Honor the Lord, fuel your assignment, empower strategic generosity, invest in learning. This is not pressure, this is priority. Storehouse, 50-60% pays true needs with precision housing, food, transport to work, insurance, essential utilities. Not fashion, not ego. Shield, 10-20% is your protection bill until 3-6 months of expenses stand like a wall. When the shield is full, you may reassign that percent toward wise investment or accelerated purpose projects, not a reckless shopping party. Debt acceleration, 10-20% is extra principal to break bondage faster above the required minimums. The borrower is servant to the lender, Proverbs 22:7. So buy back your freedom. Once 0-10% is last and smallest because comfort must not command destiny. Crisis adjustment, hear me like a father. When the days are evil, Ephesians 5 says, redeem the time. That means press once to 0, all of it. Feed the shield and debt acceleration. Keep the storehouse precise. Do not touch the seed. You don't cut covenant to coddle comfort. You cut comfort to preserve covenant. In storms, walls and ropes matter, not ribbons. Increase, shield toward 20%. Push debt acceleration toward 20%. Hold the line. When calm returns, you will still have your purpose, your peace, and your cash flow. Write this rule in your spirit. Never reduce purpose to fund vanity. Reduce vanity to fund purpose. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you. Matthew 6:33. First means first. Do not try to please everyone. Percentages will help you say a holy no. And listen, customize with wisdom, not excuses. Percentages are servants of purpose, not masters of your destiny. A single mother may run storehouse closer to 60% and shield at 15% for a season. A debt-heavy entrepreneur may push debt acceleration to 20% and wants to 0% for 6 months. Adjust the sliders, but never change the order and never compromise the mission. Andre and Keisha did this. They set seed at 10%, storehouse 55%, shield 15%, debt acceleration 15%, wants 5%. 3 pay cycles later, late fees disappeared, their shield spoke during a tire blowout, and their smallest loan lost 2 months of life. When a contract got shaky, they moved. Once to 0, shield to 20, debt to 20, and slept through the storm. That is what order does. Peace on a pillow. Wake up. Redeem the time. Tonight, set your defaults. Put them in your banking app. Automate the moves. Let percentages protect you when feelings flare. Purpose 10-12. Storehouse 50-60. Shield 10-20. Debt 10-20. Want 0-10. Decency, order, protection. Repeat it every payday until faithfulness becomes your financial reflex. Generosity is holy, but it must be holy in order. Write this down. Kingdom generosity is strategic, sustainable, and submitted to purpose, not to pressure. 1 Timothy 5-8, read out loud, go. If anyone does not provide for his own, and especially for those of his household, he has denied the faith. Order is not selfish, it is stewardship. You do not rob your storehouse or raid your shield to perform generosity theater. Purpose first, provision with precision, protection with discipline. Then generosity flows clean, not chaotic. Redeem the time. Jesus said, when you give, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Matthew 6-3. Discretion preserves dignity. We give quietly, strategically, and in alignment with assignment. Write this down. Giving must pass 4 tests. Number 1, purpose alignment. Does this request advance what God assigned you, or does it detour you into financing someone else's procrastination? Number 2, dignity preserved. Will my gift lift their head or lock them in dependence? If embarrassment is part of the transaction, the method is wrong. Number 3, a plan attached. Memorize this sentence. I can help with a plan, not with a habit. Say it again. Read out loud, go. I can help with a plan, not with a habit. No plan, no payment. Number 4, no enabling of dysfunction. We never fund addictions, avoidance, or serial irresponsibility. Galatians 6-5 says each one should carry their own load. Help is a hand up, not a hammock. Now here are the mechanics. Inside your seed account, create a giving envelope, quiet help, benevolence, mercy, cap it, fixed amount every payday. When it's gone, it's gone. Do not try to please everyone. That envelope is where benevolence lives, not your mortgage money, not your shield. When people ask, you don't owe them your chaos, you owe them clarity. Your script is simple and kind. I love you. Our household runs purpose, provision, protection. I can help with a plan, not with a habit. We have a giving envelope. If there is room, we will support a step-by-step plan. If the envelope is empty, we will pray, we will advise, we will help you build a budget and find work, but we will not violate our order. Be gentle as a dove. Be wise as a serpent. Redeem the time. Attach the plan. If they need rent, ask for their budget. If they need gas, buy the gas, not hand cash. If they need food, deliver groceries, not ego points online. If they need counseling, pay the counselor 1 session at a time with attendance verified. If they need a bridge, define the bridge. Amount, date, behavior changes, and what happens if steps are skipped. Proverbs 3:27 says, do not withhold good from those to whom it is due when it is in the power of your hand to do so. Do means do within your purpose and within your power, not beyond your shield, not against your assignment. Church, wake up, wake up, wake up. Pressure is not your pastor. People will weaponize urgency. Purpose must govern your mercy. Install the envelope, cap the amount, keep the order. Protect dignity. Require a plan. Refuse to fund habits. And when the envelope is empty, you keep your yes to God and your no to guilt. That is how generosity becomes a river that never runs dry because it flows in banks that purpose built. Redeem the time. Hear me as a father. Magnificence without maturity is a mess with marble. Ecclesiastes 3:11, read out loud, go. He has made everything beautiful in its time. The word beautiful there means mature, developed, ready, not rushed. Write this down. What is immature in one season becomes beautiful in another if you let time do its work. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Desire is not destiny. There is a difference between God's timing and your timeline. Postpone big projects until shield is strong and cash flow is free. Maturity precedes magnificence. Now install the project filter. Write this down. Question 1. Does this project threaten purpose? If it drags seed backwards, it is not time. Question 2, does this project weaken the shield? If your 30, 90, 1, 8, 0 day reserves will shrink to impress your neighbors, it is not time. Question 3, does this project demand new debt? If it requires you to serve a lender to serve your ego, it is not time. Proverbs 22:7 still declares, the borrower is servant to the lender. We do not volunteer for servitude to decorate a prison. Read our confession out loud. Go. We will not finance impatience. Again, we will not finance impatience. Marketing will sing you lullabies, 0% for 12 months, no interest if you never miss a wink. But interest is not the only price. Bondage is. Do not try to please everyone. Please your purpose. Protect your protection. Redeem the time. Let's deal with debt like kingdom managers. Write this down. List every debt, smallest to largest balance, rate, minimum. Pay minimums on all, then attack one with a focused surplus. You may choose the smallest balance first for momentum, or the highest interest first for math, the avalanche. Both demand the same virtue, focus. Pick one, announce it. Starve once the 0.5% until 2 victories are won. Every extra dollar from canceled subscriptions, delayed upgrades, and side income sprints goes to that target debt. When it dies, do not celebrate with a purchase transfer, the same payment to the next debt, plus the freed minimum. That is how you buy back time. Romans 13:8 whispers, owe no one anything except to love. Love your future enough to fight today. Andre and Keisha wanted to redo their kitchen cabinets, whispering, countertops, calling. I told them, test it. They ran the filter. It would drain their shield to 15 days, demand a promo loan, and cut seed for 3 months. Not time. They confessed together, we will not finance impatience. They listed debts, store card, $640, car, $9,000, $200, student loan, $18,000, $500. They attacked the $640 with $300 surplus, killed it in 3 pay cycles, rolled a payment, and 6 months later the car note bowed. Meanwhile, their shield climbed to 90 days. When a contractor returned, cash in hand changed the conversation. Price dropped, stress vanished, and the kitchen, it became beautiful in its time. Write this down. Timing is a test. If a project cannot pass, purpose cannot preserve the shield, and cannot proceed without debt, it has failed. Delay is not denial, it is discipleship. For the next 90 days, every non-essential project goes on the altar. Speak this over your house. We will not finance impatience. We will let maturity precede magnificence. Be careful then how you live. Redeem the time. Hear me. Shields are not decorations, they are decisions. Write this down. Stack your defense in stages so a crisis becomes an inconvenience, not a collapse. Say it with me. 30, 90, 180. Again, 30, 90, 180. Your shield is not a fantasy. It is a number with a date. Ephesians 5:15-16 commands, be careful then how you live. Redeem the time, because the days are evil. Evil days are not a surprise. They are a schedule. Wise people prepare. First, the 3-0. Day starter, shield urgent. Count 1 month of true needs from your storehouse. Housing, utilities, food, transport to work, insurance. Not ego, not entertainment, a clean 30. That is your first wall. Why 30? Because most shocks arrive as bills due within weeks. A tire, a copay, a missed shift. 30 days turns panic into a phone call, not a meltdown. Proverbs 6 says, go to the ant. It stores its provisions in summer and gathers its food at harvest. Store like an ant. Do it now. Second, the 9-0 day stability, shield, standard. Once 30 is secure, press to 3 months. This is where sleep returns. Layoffs, slow contracts, medical hiccups, 90 days buys you time to pivot without selling your destiny for pennies. Joseph taught us in Genesis 41 to store in the fat years so the lean years serve your leadership. 90 days makes you useful in a famine instead of needy in a drizzle. Third, the 180-day strength, shield, strategic. This is leadership level resilience. 6 months of needs means you can absorb a blow, seize a righteous opportunity, or say no to toxic offers without trembling. It is not hoarding, it is holy foresight. Ecclesiastes 3 says God makes things beautiful, mature in their time. Maturity has margin. How do you build it? Automate weekly micro saves. Write this down. Small, scheduled, sacred. Set a transfer every Friday morning before your feelings clock in. Roundups from purchases into the shield. Skim unexpected income refunds, side gigs, gifts, 20, 50% straight to the shield. When you hit a milestone, first $500, first $1,000, the full 30, the full 90, celebrate with gratitude, not spending. Whisper thanks. Journal the date. Do not puncture the wall you just built with a party that eats your protection. Insurance is your shield's extension. Hear your father. Protect the purpose bearers. Health insurance to cap medical shocks. Term life to replace income and retire debts if a provider sleeps. Basic disability to defend cash flow if a body is bruised. This is stewardship, not fear. 1 Timothy 5-8 still thunders. If anyone does not provide for his own, he has denied the faith. Provide with foresight. Premiums are cheaper than begging. Track your reserves weekly. Proverbs 27-23, read out loud, go. Be diligent to know the state of your flocks and attend to your herds. Your shield is a flock. Know its state. Every payday, 3 minutes, note balance, days covered, next target, next transfer. Post the number on the family board. Agreement fuels acceleration. Wake up, wake up, wake up. 30, 90, 180. Set the amounts, set the dates, set the automations. Do not try to please everyone. Please your purpose. When the storm knocks, let your shield answer the door while you keep building. Redeem the time. Schedule lists. Don't trust memory. A huddle is not a feeling. It is an appointment with integrity. Write this down. A short scheduled review after each deposit keeps the system honest and your heart aligned. Psalm 90-12, read out loud, go. Teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Number the days, number the dollars, number the decisions. Be wise. Nehemiah 4-9 says, we pray to our God and set a guard. Pray then, set a guard. 10 minutes within 24 hours of every deposit. Phones down. Accounts open, same order every time. Minute 1 and 2, confirm movement. Did the seed transfer first? Did the storehouse payments queue correctly? Did the shield eat? No assumptions. Tap the activity log. If automation failed, you act now. First fruits belong first. Let all things be done decently and in order. 1 Corinthians 14:40. Order redeems the time. Minute 3, balances, snapshot, seed, storehouse, shield. Write them on the scoreboard. Date, amounts, and days of shield coverage. Proverbs 27-23 still commands, be diligent to know the state of your flocks. Your accounts are flocks. Your scoreboard is the shepherd's staff. Minute 4 and 5, pipeline preview. List the next 7 to 14 days of expenses and run the 5-question kingdom test. Is it essential to live or work? Does it move purpose? Can it wait 30 days? Is there a cheaper, faithful option? What happens if we say no? If it fails, it waits. Once, do not jump the fence. Do not try to please everyone. Minute 6, score the stewardship. Read out loud, go. Scoreboard. Percent to purpose this cycle, amount to shield, debt principal reduce. Write this down. Circle the win. Small wins train great faithfulness. Luke 16:10 echoes. He who is faithful in what is least is faithful also in much. The least is a percent logged and a dollar documented. Minute 7 and 8 adjust. If income dipped, protect, purpose and shield. Compress wants to zero. Scale storehouse through precision. Call the provider. Move due dates. Ask for hardship plans. Cancel non-essential subscriptions. Renegotiate rates. Consider your ways, says Haggai 1-5. Consider, then correct. If income rose, do not inflate comfort, accelerate debt, strengthen the shield, or fund a targeted purpose project already approved. Redeem the time. Minute 9, assign actions. Who will call the utility? Who will cancel the trial? Who will schedule the tire rotation before it becomes a tow? Document the task, the owner, the deadline. Plan your day, or your day will be planned by somebody else. Minute 10, agreement and gratitude. Hold hands, breathe, and state the covenant. We are aligned with purpose this cycle. Amos 3:3 asks, can two walk together unless they are agreed? Agree. Then thank God for the deposit and the discipline. Wake up, wake up, wake up. The huddle is short, the impact is long. Do this every deposit, measure, adjust, agree, and watch money submit to the order of your purpose while you redeem the time. A leak is not a river, it's an agreement gone missing. Jesus said, every house divided against itself will not stand. Matthew 12:25. Read out loud, go, not stand. Unity is not a feeling, unity is a policy. Write this down. Agreement is the gasket that stops financial leaks. Write rules, assign roles, and speak with one voice. Psalm 133:1 declares how good and pleasant it is when brethren dwell together in unity. Good, pleasant, profitable. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Redeem the time. First, write the rules. Habakkuk 2:2, read out loud. Go, write the vision and make it plain. Plain beats vague. 3 non-negotiables on paper and on the fridge. Number 1, the spending cap without discussion. Choose the number that honors your reality. $30, $50, $100. Any unplanned spend above this waits for a huddle. No secret swipes, no surprise boxes. Number 2, the 5-question kingdom test is law for every purchase, for every person, every time. If it can wait, it must wait. Number 3, the payday routine is scheduled, not suggested. Same day, same hour, phones off, accounts open, put it in the calendar, protect it like church. Do not try to please everyone. Please your purpose. Second, assign roles. Order needs owners. Write this down. 1 enters, 1 examines, both approve exceptions. The enterer logs every transaction within 24 hours, category, account, date. The examiner audits the ledger twice a week, verifies receipts, reconciles, balances, flags, leaks. Exceptions, anything that breaks the cap, bends the plan, or touches the shield, require both signatures. Not mood, not manipulation, agreement. Amos 3:3, can two walk together unless they are agreed? Secure the walk, seal the wallet. Third set, boundary language for relatives and friends. Love with truth, give with discretion. Here is your script, memorize it. Our giving is scheduled. We will revisit on date. Read out loud, go, say it kindly, say it consistently. You are not their lender, you are a steward of assignment. If there is a plan, we can help with a plan. If it is a habit, we cannot fund a habit. Let your yes be yes and your no, no, Matthew 5:37. No guilt, no gossip, just order. Fourth, disciple the children early. Purpose is learned in little envelopes. Create 3 small envelopes to mirror the big accounts. Seed, storehouse, shield, and a tiny wants last. Chores earn income. Income follows the same order. First to seed for giving and learning, next to storehouse for their true needs, school supplies they manage, then to shield for a small gold bike tire, field trip cushion, and finally wants. Proverbs 22:6 says, train up a child in the way he should go. Training means repetition and reward. Celebrate obedience with words, not wild spending. Let them label transfers. Let them pray over envelopes. They will learn that money obeys systems, not wishes, before the world teaches them otherwise. Write this down. Unity isn't silence. Unity is structure. Rules on paper. Roles with dates. Scripts with boundaries. Envelopes with purpose. Ephesians 5 still commands, redeem the time. When your house speaks with one voice, your money stops leaking through many mouths. Wake up, agree, obey the order, and watch peace move into your address. Now that your house speaks with one voice, we must decide what that voice will purchase. Write this down. Spend to move destiny, not to massage ego by outcomes by a specific date. Habakkuk 2:2, read out loud, go, write the vision and make it plain, that he may run who reads it. If you cannot run with it by a date, you must not spend on it today. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Redeem the time. Here is your purpose filter. Ask this of every expense. Does this accelerate my assignment in the next 12 months? Not someday, not one day, by December 31. If the answer is vague, it waits. If the answer is clear, and it multiplies calling, it is not a want, it is seed. 2 Corinthians 9:10 says, God supplies seed to the sower and bread for food. Seed is for sowing into purpose. Bread is for eating as provision. Do not eat your seed and then ask God for a harvest. Sow it with aim. What qualifies as purpose spending? Write this down. Skill. Education that pays dividends, certificates, licenses, a course that upgrades your competence to increase value by a date. Tools, equipment and software that reduce time, improve quality, or create capacity that leads to measurable delivery by a date. Relationships, mentors, coaching, networks, and rooms you must be in to fulfill assignment where correction and access compress years into months. Proverbs 4:7 read, go. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom. Purpose purchases must multiply wisdom, capacity, or credibility tied to deliverables, not decorations. Refuse identity purchases. The kingdom does not finance insecurity. 1 Samuel 16:7 reminds us, man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. Logos are not legacy. Optics are not outcomes. Do not buy a car to look employed. Buy a certification to stay employable. Do not buy a phone to post. Buy a course to produce. Do not upgrade a wardrobe to borrow esteem. Upgrade your systems to deliver excellence. Write this rule in your spirit. If it strokes the image but starves the impact, it is vanity. Do not try to please everyone. Please your purpose. Now, time box challenge. What will your paychecks buy by December 31? Answer with outcomes, not items. Will they buy debt freedom on the smallest loan? Will they buy a funded 90-day shield? Will they buy a certificate that moves your income band? Will they buy a tool that saves 5 hours a week so you can launch the project on October 1? Psalm 90:12 read, go teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Number the days then, number the outcomes. Create your outcomes ledger tonight. 3 lines, outcome with date. Cost with source account, seed for development, storehouse for true need, shield untouched except by plan, measurable milestone each month. Example, Google project management certificate, finished by September 30, $39, month from seed envelope, study 45 minutes daily at 6 a.m., apply for 3 roles by October 15. Another, smallest debt, retired by June, $180 extra per paycheck from cutting, wants a 3%, roll payment to next debt July 1. Another, shield to 90 days by December 31, 15% every deposit plus 50% of tax refund. Ephesians 5:15-16 still commands, be careful then how you live, redeem the time. Careful is calendar plus calculator. Read our confession out loud, go. We buy outcomes, not optics. Again, we buy outcomes, not optics. I beg you as a father, let this be the last year you waste. Document 3 outcomes. Set the automations, align the purchases. And every checkout must answer the question, does this accelerate my assignment in the next 12 months? If yes, so. If no, say no. Wake up, redeem the time. Now we seal it. A plan on paper changes nothing. A habit on schedule changes everything. Write this down. 90 days of disciplined repetition transforms this from a plan into your financial reflex. Ephesians 5:15-16, read out loud, go. Be careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Careful is calendar. Careful is cadence. Careful is the same holy order every payday until your fingers move before your feelings speak. Here is the 90-day kingdom budget challenge. For the next 3 pay cycles, your boot sequence, you will automate the 7-minute transfer routine. You will run the 5-question kingdom test before every non-essential swipe. And you will hold the 1-0-minute payday huddle within 24 hours of each deposit. Same order, same screen, same prayer, no excuses. Luke 16:10 says, he who is faithful in what is least is faithful also in much. The least is 7 minutes on a Friday and 10 minutes in a huddle. Faithful there, then faithful everywhere. Set targets you can measure. Write this down. Seed percent locked. Shield milestone dated. 1 debt eliminated. Once under cap. Read out loud, go. Seed first. Shield next. Debt dies. Once under cap. Choose your seed between 10-12% and lock it automation active by the next deposit. Choose a shield milestone, full 30 days of true needs by day 90 and circle the date. Choose 1 debt, the smallest balance or the highest rate, and announce its funeral date within the 90. Choose your wants, cap 0, 5% in a crunch, never above 10%, and bind your appetite to your assignment. Psalm 90:12 read, go, teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Number the days, number the deposits, number the targets. Public accountability will make private discipline durable. Tell a trusted partner today, spouse, friend, mentor, someone who loves your purpose more than your comfort. Send the targets in writing and schedule check-ins on each payday. Stand together and say it. Read out loud, go. For the next 90 days, we will honor seed at X%. Build our shield to 30 days by date. Eliminate name the debt by date. And keep wants under X%. We will run the 7-minute routine first. Apply the 5-question test to every purchase. And hold our payday huddle within 24 hours of each deposit. We agree, we obey, we redeem the time. Amos 3:3 asks, can 2 walk together unless they are agreed? Agree in writing. Agree on the calendar. Agree at the checkout. Post a scoreboard where your eyes must tell the truth date, seed percent, shield days covered, debt balance, wants percent. Proverbs 27:23 read, go, be diligent to know the state of your flocks. Your flocks are numbers. Celebrate each week with gratitude, not with spending. When you miss, you reset within 24 hours. No shame, just order. Do not try to please everyone. Please your purpose. What are you going to do with the next 90 days? Start with the next paycheck. Start today. Wake up, redeem the time, redeem the paycheck, refuse to waste another cycle. 90 days. Same order, same obedience. Reflects installed.